Assalamualaikum. Hello, everyone. The curriculum is an integral part of the education system. To determine the quality of an education system, primarily one would look at how much students learn and develop during their time in the system. In turn, it would determine the talent development of the future generation. In Malaysia, the government and government-aided schools, as well as private schools, including the state Islamic religious schools, follow the national curriculum. There are other curriculum offered at the international schools, the Chinese independent high schools, and the expatriate schools. My focus is on the national curriculum. The 1996 Education Act, or Act 550, specifies the national curriculum as an educational program that includes curricular and co-curricular activities that encompasses the knowledge, skills, values, norms, cultural elements, and beliefs. The approach is focused on developing students holistically, which means it addresses the intellectual, physical, spiritual, and emotional development in line with the national education philosophy. A fundamental objective of the education system is to ensure that students are equipped with the knowledge, skills, and competencies required for success in life and for the betterment of the society and nation. Thus, at the core of the national curriculum development is the philosophy, policies, and plans of the nation and the education system vis-a-vis the theories of individual development and learning. For example, the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025 specifies that the need for change is due to rising international education standards, the government and people's aspiration of better preparing students for the needs of the 21st century, and increased public and parental expectations of education policy. What kind of future generation do we want? Basically, graduates that are holistically balanced and integrated, and at the same time can meet the 21st century challenges. Global players who are competitive, resilient, able to communicate and has dignity. Responsible citizens who are courteous, united, patriotic, fair, loving, and responsible, who can contribute to the social well-being of society. Knowledge workers who are innovative, creative, with thirst for knowledge, master ICT skills, creator of technology, and lifelong learning. Curriculum development in Malaysia consists of 6 main processes. First, identification of needs. The need for curriculum development usually emerges from a concern about a major issue or problem of the target audience. The need assessment is to learn what is needed and by whom relative to the identified issue. The information is used to identify gaps between knowledge and practice, emerging trends, priorities, and the characteristics of the target audience. For example, the national curriculum uses a wide range of benchmarks from top performing education system to ensure alignment with international standards on the knowledge and skills expected of students at different ages. These benchmarks are also aligned to the national education philosophy to ensure the curriculum produced is suitable for the Malaysian context. Second, planning. In the planning stage, systematic decisions are made about the target audience, the intended outcomes, the content, the methods, the assessment or evaluation strategies. Third, design and development of the actual curriculum materials. Fourth, pilot and formative evaluation of curriculum materials during the production phase. Fifth, implementation of the new curriculum products. This requires planning and strategies to create understanding and promote the use of the curriculum. Sixth, monitoring and evaluation. The national curriculum has gone through several revisions, enhancements and improvements as shown in the slide. Most recent is the revision of the Curriculum Standards Sekolah Rendah, KSSR, or the Primary School Standards-Based Curriculum that was introduced in stages beginning year 1 in 2017. At the secondary level, the new Curriculum Standards Sekolah Menengah, KSSM, or the Secondary School Standards-Based Curriculum was introduced beginning from 1 in 2017. The main difference between this curriculum and the previous one is that it has pillars that emphasizes the inclusion of 21st century skills and competencies in specific subjects and across the curriculum. The pillars are communication, spirituality, attitude and values, humanities, science and technology, physical and aesthetic development, and self-efficiency. Elements embedded across the curriculum include language, science and technology, ICT, environment, sustainability, positive values, patriotism, creativity and innovation, entrepreneurship, and global sustainability. Another difference is the curriculum is based on standards rather than on learning objectives. Three components of standards are the content standards specify the specific knowledge, skills, and values that students need to acquire. For example, the KSSR has an increased emphasis on skills such as reasoning, creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. The learning standards describe the degree of proficiency that students need to display or in relation to each of the content standards on a year-by-year basis. Assessment standards define the achievement levels for each content and learning standards. The pedagogy emphasizes deep learning that is inquiry-based, applies higher order thinking skills, learning that is contextual, collaborative, problem-based, and uses STEM approach. The curriculum also gives greater emphasis to school-based assessment, both formative and summative. Teachers assess how far students master learning standards based on the performance standards set. The development and achievement is recorded and reported to students and parents. Accordingly, exams were abolished in the first 3 years of primary school, and the centralized exam at the end of primary level, which is the Ujian Pencapaian Sekolah Rendah, UPSR, was abolished this year. At the end of lower secondary level, the centralized exam Pentaksiran Tingkatan 3 or PT3 was made school-based in 2019. The use of the standards-based curriculum is seen as more equitable, with each child having equal access and opportunity to attain quality education. It gives greater accountability for students and administrators to ensure students meet the standard set. It is also more objective and efficient based on the scheme and evaluation standards on the knowledge and skills to be measured. The Malaysian education system follows a P633 model. Children commence education at primary schools or kindergarten from age 4 to 6. Preschools have been mandated to adopt the National Preschool Standard Curriculum to develop their socialization skills, personality, and communication skills. The emphasis in the primary years is on the mastery of 4 Rs, reading, writing, arithmetic, and reasoning, and on general education until the lower secondary level. At the upper secondary level, there is some specialization to prepare students to undertake higher education or to go into the workplace. To develop students holistically, in addition to academic learning, curriculum focuses on spirituality, artistic, and sporting ability. These are activities during and after formal class time. All students are encouraged to participate in one sport, one club, and one uniform body to ensure access to a breadth of experiences. Assessments are school-based and centralized exam is only at the end of upper secondary level. Students sit for the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM or the Malaysia Certificate of Education, which is equivalent to the O levels. Both the primary and secondary curricula offer a comprehensive range of science, social science, and humanities subjects. Subjects are divided into core subjects, which are compulsory subjects for students in government, government-aided, and private schools. Compulsory subjects, these are subjects for students in government and government-aided schools. Additional subjects, these are language subjects offered to students at primary and lower secondary as a choice. Elective subjects are subjects offered at primary, upper secondary level to fulfill students' talents, ability, interests, and potential. Several packages are offered: language, STEM, Islamic education, arts, and humanities. Students can choose these electives based on their inclination and readiness of schools to offer the subjects. With the implementation of zero reject policy, there are the standards-based curriculum for special needs for primary level, either for hearing, sight, or learning disability. At the secondary level, the curriculum is differentiated for those with low or moderate functionality. Assessment is school-based for low functional students, and a combination of school-based and skills-based for moderate functional students. For vocational education at 89 vocational schools, there are 36 main programs that are skills-based and accredited at certificate and diploma level. The dynamics of the labor market have changed drastically since the advent of digital technology and the fourth industrial revolution. Rapid and wide diffusion of emerging technologies are transforming how tasks or jobs are carried out by creating new roles for humans which require different skills and competencies. There is growing evidence of mismatch between skills required for content and future for current and future workforce and the skills of current employees, including recent graduates from various education institutes. The 21st century skills gap is costly. A key challenge is in developing the curriculum is ensuring that it would provide the necessary skills for the workforce. The current trend suggests the curriculum taught in schools would be the best step in equipping students with the necessary skills rather than having those in the workforce to be reskilled in new emergent skills. The curriculum must provide students with a broader set of 21st century skills. Evidence such as from the LinkedIn survey shows that while soft skills are important, equally important are the hard skills. The majority of those essential in the current workforce are technology related. These changes require education system to empower children and youth with different skills and competencies. The COVID-19 crisis has changed how we live, work, and learn in ways that will alter our behavior even after the pandemic. It has accelerated trends that were unfolding at a much slower pace before the crisis and will persist after the pandemic recedes. Evidence such as from McKinsey Global Institute, the future of work after COVID-19 2021 indicates three broad sets of trends affecting the future of work, which is remote work, e-commerce, and automation. The crisis has permanently changed workplace conditions and skill sets needs, and how we can prepare for this future. For example, digitalization accelerated faster than imagined possible. For education, the pandemic's uneven impact on student learning threatens to widen inequality while at the same time delivering rapid developments in digital education and digital fluency. Policymakers need to seize this opportunity to address emerging gaps and provide the necessary policy, content training, infrastructure for digital education. Can the curriculum be flexible enough in supporting learning in the new normal, especially with constant disruption of school closures and the effectiveness of home-based learning? Much of the curricula cannot be adapted quickly to home-based learning, and students face the anxiety of not knowing how their school year will progress. The curricula is complex. It has pillars, it has elements embedded in the curricula and across the curricula. Thus, it will be difficult to deliver wholly through home-based learning. There is a likelihood that student progression against formal curriculum were not fully covered due to school closures. Curriculum in Malaysia needs to be more flexible and readily adaptable to address the needs of the workforce as well as the current and post-COVID-19 situation. The written curriculum must be supported by the appropriate teacher, training, infrastructure, and infrastructure development, as well as community involvement to enable efficient implementation. Thank you.